This is the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms for women entrepreneurs to be seen and heard. This platform is for women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. These are the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they want to build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome to the Shine You Crazy Daisy podcast and the Shine You Crazy Daisy Volume 2 book. And today I am joined by the incredible Naetha Uren from Recovery Coach Academy. Naetha, it is such a pleasure to have you here and to get your story out. Please tell us about your business.
We deliver recovery coach training, but also build a community because we just believe transformed people transform people. And with the art and science of recovery coaching, we impact lives.
What drove you into looking into recovery coaching?
I think it was a whole mishmash of a lot of things that happened along the journey. I was a licensed chemical dependency counselor 20 years ago. Parked that career, had a really good life. And then over the past 5 years, our family got impacted by addiction and substance misuse. And my daughter was in a domestic violent relationship. And my husband and I put our lives on hold, went to America to kind of deal with the family. And in the midst of that, we found a recovery coaching community and recovery communities. And they made such a difference in our life in saving our family. We went from a lovely husband and wife off on holiday to Dubai, visiting our family in New Zealand and America, to 4 generations under one roof, controlled flipping chaos, full of love and lots of challenges and conflicts. But we are making a difference in a little 8-year-old's life. And my daughter is 4 years in recovery. And in the middle of COVID, we found some amazing mentors and created Recovery Coach Academy. So
that is an incredible, what a journey condensed into such a short. But what did you see the differences or the similarities between recovery that's offered or expected in the UK and the US?
I think so much of it, or not so much, there is a huge presence of credible, lived experience-led organizations. Mm-hmm. So not by clinicians, not by, just people with really good lived experience leading and impacting services because they know what got them to where they're at. And that can be, family members, friends, allies, they all make up that credible lived experience. So it's not just saying you have to have had a drug or alcohol problem or a gambling problem, but just coming from a different perspective. And I think just the availability of what I like to say, many pathways to recovery. Mm-hmm. How do you want to find recovery instead of me saying, right, here's a meeting you can go to, or I can send you to this service. It takes a combination. It takes a village to raise a child. I think it takes many pathways to find recovery. And as a family member, some of that was finding things like grandparents raising grandkids support groups. Dude, that wasn't on my radar 5 years ago, but when we came back to England from the States, we were just hit with brick walls. And even though my daughter was 97 days into her recovery journey, there wasn't much, and it might be postcodes, people might have had different experiences, but ours was, oh my God, how do we learn to live as a family in recovery? And we ended up getting support from the resources in the States through FaceTime and email and Zoom. And we just thought people in England need to know about these other pathways and recovery coaching. And yeah, we had a family recovery coach for 2 years and it was flipping fabulous.
What really, really got me was when you wrote in the chapter about in the UK, if you want to get any kind of help, you have to start using again. And that your daughter was it was said to her, well, start using, you'll get the help you need.
My daughter went to a nationally recognized drug and alcohol service, and she had 97 days in recovery. And she was pretty much told, you've already had too much, you've already had more recovery than we could ever provide, or services or treatment or whatever the hell you want to call it. But sorry, I get riled up. And they said, so if you want to access our 12-week program, go out and have a drink tonight, and then we can sign you up tomorrow. And I'm like, she didn't even know how to ride a flipping bus. That's what she needed help with, life. How do I know which way a bus goes? She didn't know she had to put her hand out to make the bus stop. So why are they all driving by? You know, how do I apply for a job here and what's different? You know, how do I talk to my mom? She's driving me nuts. You know, all that stuff.
Just unbelievable that that's the attitude that for somebody that's been in recovery for that long. That just broke my heart reading that.
And there are places that give good service.
Yeah.
But just because of that kind of was one of the driving forces about nobody should have to get that, you know, and there are different ways. And and it probably keeps us sane too.
What is absolutely amazing about your journey is that this hasn't been a long amount of time. Your daughter had a situation 5 years ago. You've come back, you've had all your generations under one roof for an amount of time, and in the midst of all of this, you've started this recovery coaching academy. You are now supporting 100 people through recovery coach training so that they can support people. What the title of your chapter is, Build It and They Will Come, and that is what is happening. But how do you feel about what's happening right now?
I'm a bit overwhelmed. I believed in it. I just knew, you know, and I kind of think you get to that point, and when you really believe in what you do and you have just maybe a bit of support, mentorship, social credibility, professional credibility, just that little bit of something that gives you that push, you just keep going, even though you're scared, you know? And I think that's kind of what happened with this. I mean, I started doing this like 2 years before COVID happened, and somebody saw and believed in it. But another person in that environment told our boss, just put her back in her box. It's too American. And he kind of didn't say anything about that. And it really affected me. And then roll on 3 years later, and I kind of have a conversation with another gentleman. And I said to him, I really want to do this. This is what I was trying to do. You've done it better. How can I make this work? And he said to me, if you build it, they will come. And it's just like 2 men, 2 influences, and language matters so much, you know, and the damage those words did at first, I still feel them. I still, you know, and that's really sad because that person probably didn't think anything of it in the moment. But the impact of somebody, and it is that thing, you know, you get 99 good comments and 1 bad one.
Yeah.
And even when I get some good feedback, that happens. But I guess the scale's tipping to that, just 51%. And so
let's get it up to 60.
Yes. And I mean, I have 90 days, you know, but I also have 30. And it's and I guess that's like even meeting you, you know, meeting that group of women who in that moment raise you up and believe in you and take you exactly as you are. Things like that, just along the journey, give you a push.
Absolutely. And we all need that. We all need those support networks of especially I think business women that can lift you up and say, I see you, tell me your story. And that's
I mean, I just want to cry. It's just good.
What's one lesson that you've learned that you think every entrepreneur should know?
I probably wouldn't have said this 6 months ago, but really just that mindset to know that you are doing the right thing. You know, when you, in those moments, when you feel, you know, I just got a bit of credibility, somebody just gave me, I mean, I had a situation where somebody said what I did wasn't peer reviewed. And so I was like, help. And then somebody said, it has been, I'll forward you the PDF. And just when things align like that, in that moment, seize that momentum to do all the hard things you've been putting off.
Well, and asking for help.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've had to reach out so many times,
Mm.
but all these amazing women have answered the call,
Yeah.
and it's just been, and some amazing men too.
Mm-hmm.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sexist.
What's your favorite business book?
So I'm reading a book, The Art of Gathering, and it has just been a real connection. I kind of think over COVID, we've all got sucked into online and everything's there. And even though through screens, I've made amazing relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And so just understanding why people gather and finding those areas of common self-interest, it's just been really interesting to read and understand. And I think everybody should. My perspective is building relationships is so much more important and finding common self-interest than all that other noise that we sometimes get sucked into.
Absolutely. Finding community and building community for yourself as much as on a bigger level. Absolutely. Naetha, this has been amazing. I'm so excited to see what happens for you and with your business.
Oh, it's good.
Years. And the fact that you've got 100 people that are going through the training at the moment that can help another 100 people each.
It's a ripple effect.
Phenomenal. What a phenomenal ripple effect, though. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you for having me. It's amazing. And you just brighten up my day with sunshine every time.
Thank you so much for being in the book as well. Volume 2 is coming out in the next few weeks. I'm excited to have you in there. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great day, hon.
Thank you so much for watching the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. If you've liked what you've seen today, then please make sure that you click the subscribe button to this channel to see more inspiration and motivation as more of these stories keep coming out. And if you want even more, click on the link below this video and go and have a look at the series of books Shine On You Crazy Daisy and get even more inspiration and motivation for you and your business.